Yo, yo, yo! Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here with a new session called Guide to Your Tech Cards, and today's card is Enemy Controller. Everybody knows this card is really common. It's from the anime. Kaiba uses this card, and it's actually been reprinted so many times. It's in all the structure decks, actually. Most of them, not all of them, but yeah, most of them, and it's not hard to find at all. It's not even expensive. You can get a common for like, I don't know, less than $1. It's like 50 cents or something. It's a really underrated card. Let me just explain what this card can do, and let me just give you a scenario of how to use this card to your best potential. Now, this card effect says that when you activate this card, you can select one of the two effects. So the first effect says that you target one monster you put in control, one face-up put in control, and then change the battle position. Pretty simple, right? And then the second effect says that you tribute one monster you control, then target one monster you put in controls, and then basically just take control of that monster until the end of the turn. Now, let's see how this card is actually really good in the meta. Like, first of all, it stops Xyz summoning. How, you say? Let's say you have... I'm just going to give a scenario of the best card in this current meta. I mean, the best deck in the current meta, which is the most broken deck. And of course, it's Performer Pendulums. You basically normal summon this card, you search out Monkey Keyboard or, I don't know, Pendulum Wizard, anything that you want, actually. So in this case, I'm just going to search Monkey Keyboard. This is actually irrelevant to the combo. I'm just showing you how to actually use this to your best potential. And you set a card, right? Now, your opponent normal summons Damage Juggler, and then let's say he special summons another monster. Let's say he special summons a Hat Tricker, right? Because there's two monsters on the field. Now he special summons Hat Tricker, and instantly everybody knows that since there's two monsters with the same level on the field, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory that they're going to go ahead and Xyz summon. And then how to stop that Xyz summon, you're going to go ahead and activate Enemy Controller. Tributing off this card, this will go face on the extra deck since it's a Pendulum monster. And then you target one of the two monster, and in my opinion, I'm just going to go ahead and target Hat Tricker, Damage Juggler, because I don't want them to, you know, do other shenanigans, you know, pretty much, you know, go ahead. Like, I don't want this to be in the graveyard, because if this card's in the graveyard, they're going to get more pluses, and then they're going to go ahead and, you know, search for Plush Fire, and then set Scales and Pendulum Summon. So this actually stops your opponent potential of getting more pluses, and then getting Xyz monster, and then getting off even more pluses. So that's just one way of using Enemy Controller. The second way of using Enemy Controller is actually creates chance for you to actually Xyz summon. Now, so let's say I'm gonna still use the Performer Pendulum as well as the previous example. So let's say I have your opponents have Skullcrobat Joker on the field, and let's say you throw down a Maxi, and then they stop, you know, because they don't want a pendulum. They didn't want a pendulum summon and special summon to give you more pluses. So what they do is basically summons Skullcrobat Joker, and then search for Monkey Keyboard, and then let's say that they just end there, right? What you're gonna do here is basically you're gonna go ahead, normal summon Trick Clown, then you're gonna go ahead and activate Enemy Controller, tributing off Trick Clown, targeting Skullcrobat Bat Joker. Then Trick Clown sends to the graveyard. Being sent to the graveyard, Trick Clown's effect triggers, special summoning himself back, and then you take 1000 damage. And then from that point, you can go ahead and exceed into more pluses. So you can go ahead and exceed into Lavalval Chain, or you can go ahead and exceed into King of the Feral Imp, and then go ahead for your searches and mills. Right? So that's another way of using enemy controller. The other way is basically steal your opponent monster to give yourself more pluses. Let's say your opponent exceeds summon into a Lavalval Chain, and then basically they use the mill off to get some pluses, and then that's their field right there. Now, how to actually use this to your best advantage is basically I'm going to go ahead and use Damage Juggler. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon this guy. Then I'm going to go ahead and use enemy controller, tributing off Damage Juggler, getting sent to the graveyard, then targets Lavalval Chain. Go ahead, take control of Lavalval Chain. And we'll go ahead, activate Damage Juggler in your graveyard, banishing this card off to search for more pluses. Let's say you search for Flash Fire, and then you can activate Lavalval Chain's effect. This card gets sent to the opponent's graveyard, and then mill off Zephyros or mill of Blow Up Bulb, or basically anything, like you can actually you don't actually have to search for this card. You can actually search for Hat Tricker, and then Lavalval Chain is going to go ahead and mill Blow Up Bulb. There you go. If you didn't catch that, basically I'll just explain again. So basically it's right, you normal summon, then tribute off, target, take control, search for this card, and then this card's effect, mill off this card. Now Glow Bulb gonna activate effect, mill off the top deck, special summon, and then you can go ahead and synchro summon both of them into Materia Beast. See, by just basically you use 2 cards, you allow yourself to bring out this amount of, this powerful monster on the field. Another example is basically create chances for OTKs. Now, this actually happens to me during the regionals. I'll actually use the same scenario. What happened was I was playing against Monarchs, and I had Skullcrobat Bat Joker on the field, and I had Utopia and Utopia Lightning on the field. So, and now, what happened was I was actually new to this meta, so I didn't really know what would happen. I thought I had game because the life point difference was 2500 because he attacked me first, and then this was in overtime, and yeah, so we had like 2 turns each. So what happened was I attacked with this with Skullcrobat Bat Joker, and so the life point difference now is 700. And before I attack with this guy, he activates this guy's effect. Basically, what it does is banishes 1 Monarch Spellflow trap, and then special summon himself in defense mode. And then basically he tried to stop me with that. It was my last turn to actually. It was my last turn to actually put the damage in, and then then we're gonna look at the life points and then see who wins, right? So what happened was I had that, and then what I did was I had enemy controller. I just tribute off Skullcrobat Joker, target this Monarch Trap, and then go ahead for a direct attack, and then that actually win me the game, and actually wins me the match. Yeah, that's actually creates an opportunity as well. And the other effect, I mean the other advantage you can pull off is stops OTK. Like what happened was, let's say they had Utopia Lightning, and then with two overlays, of course, because you know I could go ahead for a 5,000 hit, and then they have King of the Feral Imp and Trapeze Magician. Okay, so, and let's say you have just basically one monster on the field. You have one Trick Clown set, and then you have one enemy controller set. So obviously, what you're gonna do is basically activate this card's effect, targeting either King of the Feral Imp or Utopia. I don't really know. So basically, let's say they target Utopia Lightning. All right, so targeting Utopia Lightning. Now, so this card can attack twice, and obviously he's going to attack with this card. So at the start of battle phase, I'll basically chain enemy controller, tributing off this card to the graveyard, targeting Utopia Lightning, and then that actually stops OTK right there. Because now you have you can activate this, or you don't. You can activate Trick Clown, or you don't have to in this case, because basically you have this, and then they can't do anything. Like he can try and crash, but I'm just gonna go ahead and activate this, and then this will go to 5,000 anyway. And yeah, that actually stops the attack right there, and then you survive the turn just from that. All right, and yeah, and the best part is that it actually stops your opponent monster from activating effects. Like let's say you know that they're gonna go ahead and activate Shockmaster's effect. I'll actually find you one scenario. Hang on. So let's say they have Shockmaster with with 3 overlays, and you have that on the field. So now this exceeds into Shockmaster. Now what you do is basically, once this card hits the field, you activate enemy controller, tributing off this card, targeting Shockmaster, and then basically, and then you know you can either activate this card effect or not, up to you. I'll just activate it, just you know, for the sake of argument. All right. So basically you activate, and then you take 1,000, and they can't activate this card effect because you already take control of this. Just like that, right? And for the grand finale is, let's say you're playing against Burning Abyss, and in OCG Burning Abyss is, I don't know what happened. I don't know whether it's a Japanese thing or something, but I always see they always use skill drain in Burning Abyss, and that actually pisses me off a lot. So what happened is they're gonna go ahead and make Dante with 2 overlays, and then they go ahead and set 5. Right? They set 5, and right, and you know one of them is, at least one of them is skill drain. Let me just set it up nicely. Alright. So, yeah. And you know, like, one of them is definitely skill drain. So, in order to check, what you're going to do is go ahead and normal summon this card, and then you special summon this card, and you can activate this card or not, doesn't really matter depending on your hand, because what I'm going to go into is this guy, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. Now once you activate this card's effect, your opponent is going to definitely chain Skill Drain, right? And let's say you have, so basically you start off with 6 cards, right? You start off with 6 cards, and now you have 5 in total, and they have 6. So you go ahead and activate this card's effect, then your opponent chains Skill Drain, right? And then you're going to go ahead and chain Enemy Controller, tributing off this card, and then targeting Dante. Now you're going to go ahead and control Dante. So chain to a resolve, you can to control of Dante, chain to a resolve Skill Drain, and chain 1 resolves. Blows up the field. Because this card is not on the this card is not on the field anymore, and Skill Drain basically stop monsters effect on the field. So basically just bam, destroys everything. And then you can proceed to, you know, to play your other games. That you can play your games, so you activate Monkey Board and then get more search and then go for the OTK right there. Yes. That's it, guys. I think that's pretty much all I can bring up with Enemy Controller. It's a really, really underrated card. I suggest you guys think of, you know, putting this card in one of two to three of these cards in, you know, in your slots, because I'm actually running 2 in my deck right now, and it actually helped me a lot. Stops OTKs, creates OTKs like what I just explained, and it actually really helps me. Speaking from experience, it actually helped me, like all the scenario that I just explained just now. It's actually it actually started from a real life. I'm not actually making this up. So yeah, let me know how you're gonna use this card to your best advantage, and, you know, leave them down in the comment section below. And, you know, please, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot, guys.